We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
His goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode. This episode of the Voice Party Podcast is brought to you by Rich City Rides. Ride further, ride together. Get your ride on with Rich City Rides.
Welcome back to this episode of The Voice Party. I am your host, Corday Snell. Next to my immediate right, we have the great, the amazing guy who brought this all together. We have JD Arendia. He's taking notes right now. I don't know.
Give me a perm. There you go.
Yeah, he's studying right now. He has a big test coming up. Well, to my immediate left, we have Phil Spooner on the ones and twos.
What's cracking, crackers?
Hey, there we go. And right across from me, we have the very acclaimed, hilarious guest, the man of multi-talents, the amazing, the very talented Larry Dorsey.
Give him a perm. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. What's up, dog? How you doing, man?
Oh man, same soup, just reheated, you know.
That's a good one. Same soup.
I ain't never heard that one. That's a good one. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
Oh man. The first time I met you at Cos was like 6 months ago.
Now we met before that, but it wasn't.
did?
It wasn't like a deep meaning.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like it was, the comics, just like nigga getting off stage, boom, boom, wham, wham, squam, squam.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, but we got to talking at Cos
we
about
got to
6
talk.
months
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And right away I was like, tell me more about your experiences in the jungle.
Yeah.
And then, I thought you moved, right?
Yeah, I live most of last year. I was living in South America.
South America. So I was like, let me see if he's available, because while he's in the States, before he leaves again, so we can talk about this, because I was interested in all your stories, and then I saw you performing the other day. We did the show on Monday.
Yeah.
That was not that long ago. That was Monday.
That was an interesting show.
I saw this man with his pants down. It was interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself before you get into
Man, I always like to start off with the idea of reparations. For descendants, before I get to myself, I have to represent for my people.
Yeah,
the descendants of African American slavery in the United States specifically, but across the diaspora, or however people like to pronounce that word, diaspora. Or
diaspora.
Yeah. But
hey, don't look at me with the words.
I've just been kicking it with my fucking Beaner family. These motherfuckers can't say shit. These niggas mispronouncing all the words, but it's all, he's still right there. Diego,
yeah, he's right here.
Yes, sir.
Come over here, Diego. Come over here right quick. No, come over here. Come over here.
Don't mess with the shit. You can't see.
This is my cousin. He changed my diapers. But say the word yeah.
Yeah.
No, say how you usually say it.
Yeah.
Nah, this nigga lying. He usually go yeah.
Depends on what's happening, like
Hermano, I know the
Exactly.
Hey, damn Beaner.
Chia, what are you talking about? Chia?
Okay, yeah, but I like to start off with reparations, because I believe as a people we've been stratified. I like to use that word, in the sense that we have all these different identities because we don't have an identity, right? My name's Larry Dorsey. It's a slave name, right? Corday's name, slave name.
Yep.
Right? So, but you got a cool name though.
Yeah.
But my name is just like, they read it, most people think I'm white.
Larry Dorsey?
Or they think I'm like an athlete black guy, right?
True.
And so reparations, what it is, it's the idea of paying back, right? So if someone steals something from you and they pass it down to their grandkids, it's still yours, but the grandkids have it, and now your grandkids looking like, damn, that used to be mine, right? Or that actually belongs to me. So for me, it's just payment back, because right after slavery, we were abused, we were hated. We never got love as black people.
Excluded.
Ever. We had to fight for everything.
Yeah.
And it gets exhausting after a while. So I always want to preach reparations. I don't care about Black Lives Matter. I respect it. I don't care about all these other black identities that we have. I don't care about none of that. I respect it. I support it. But my focus as a person who's African American is reparations. And a lot of people think of reparation as monetary.
A cash bill.
No,
or check,
it's so much more. It's a public apology from the government. Like, yo, we have never done y'all right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's therapy. We should have therapy. I was just talking with my cousin Diego's wife. Like, black people, we need a fucking communal therapeutic thing to,
Not like a blanket for everyone.
not
like
a blanket, like a therapeutic.
Yeah.
We need DNA testing to know what possible tribes you might be coming from.
Exactly.
And then the government pays for it and sends you. It's like Jewish people get the return to Israel. We should have a return to Africa paid and sponsored by the government to get in touch with that. There's a lot of things that needs to happen for us as a race, because people right now, it's the most racist online on social media. It's the most racist I've ever seen it in my entire life, and it's crazy. So that's the first thing I want to start by introducing myself. Besides that, I'm Larry Dorsey Jr. And I'm born and raised in San Francisco, California, loyal to the soil. What's good?
Oh, that's the best intro we've ever had someone like start off with.
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
like, holy shit. And then what? What's your plan? I'm on board.
Yeah, exactly.
When are you running for office?
This man might run for mayor out there.
Sprinkle a little something for us Mexicans. What you got for us?
No, of course.
We got free taco delivered from Mexico City for all
I'm
Mexicans in the
Latino
U.S.
también, but you've got to understand, like, Latinos, this is technically our land, right? We're indigenous, right? Like, we're...
And you're both. You got them both.
Exactly. I got trauma on both sides. But we're so deep in it as ancestrally that's why Latinos usually do better than blacks. It's because this is our land. We're not going
home field
anywhere.
advantage.
It's home field.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not going, like, tacos, burritos, all that shit started here. We don't have to go, like us, we have to go to Africa.
Yeah.
Y'all are just like, let's go to Chichen Itza. Let's go to Cancun and get some fucking...
To see where it all came from.
Yeah, exactly.
So close, yeah.
To go watch the origin movie.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can go to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I think there's a easier navigation through success or mental health for Latinos.
Yeah.
Because of home field advantage. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But of course, Native Americans, you know what I mean? Pacific Islanders.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people who've been colonized and oppressed. I want anybody, you know what I mean? Any racial, gender, whatever you are, I want everybody to be happy just so I can roast everybody in peace.
But that's the main goal.
Why can't I make fun of transgenders? What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding.
I'll pay for your therapy if I can afterwards ruin you again.
They need their rights.
So was that your goal for starting in the stand?
No. I got into activism because it's hard to find your identity as a black man.
Yeah.
When you leave the streets.
Yeah.
Because I grew up doing street shit.
Yeah.
And when I realized, a lot of my friends went to jail, a lot of my friends died. When I realized that isn't the path that I want to take, and I wanted to prove something for black people as an intellectual, because I went to one of the top high schools in the world for academics in San Francisco. It's like 95% Asian. It's called Lowell High School. And everybody in class would look at me and be like, "How did you get in here?
Are you lost?"
Well, what kind of affirmative action?
Yeah.
But you have to test to get in, so it wasn't like I was like some,
Are you in the basketball team? What's going on?
I was on the basketball team. But it made me very upset that there was all these stereotypes against black people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wanted to disprove it intellectually. Like, other people want to like represent and express themselves exteriorly, socially. I was like, how do I separate myself spiritually and mentally? You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand and definitely feel you. Like, I remember I was in the GATE program, 7th grade year. I was in this advanced class, and the white teacher said, "Well, how did you get in here?" Because she started slowly kicking the black kids out of the class and stuff like that. It was
How
like,
did you get in here?
because she thought we would feel better in a different class. Basically, she didn't want to teach us, or whatever, right? There was one half black, half Asian kid, and she knew that both his parents was teachers, so she kept him in there. But then she started asking, "Well, how did you get in here? Well, what was your grades?" I was like, "Well, I got straight A's. They put me in here." And she's like, So she switched up and fucked up my whole entire schedule because she thought I'll be better. I would feel more comfortable in a different English class because basically she didn't think I belonged there. She's like, don't you feel a lot better in these other classes? I'm like, no, you fucked up my whole entire schedule. Like I was in a pre-algebra class. Now I'm in a terrible pre-algebra class. Now I'm in this different art and some other stuff. She was like, no, but I feel like that'll be better for you. And then she did. My mom was pissed because she did it without my mom like being able to like co-sign the switching of my schedule. Like she went through the counselors and said I think he's struggling in my class. I wasn't struggling. She just didn't want to help me. So then I started my we wasn't even doing that. Yeah. So it was like all this problems. And so then it was like well, I don't think you should be in this class. I'm like, no, you don't want me in this class. That's what this is.
You know, sometimes you steer into the fucking stereotypes yourself. I remember I wanted like my elective or whatever. I wanted to be in some kind of science. You know? Like so I want to do science experiments. And they're like, well, there's an opening in wood shop.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, they skew you away to what you want to do. Like
you look like you have a future in construction.
Exactly.
You know?
Like
you know what? You're right.
That same teacher, she was just like, oh, I don't know what kind of math you're taking. I was like, I am in the highest math for 7th graders. Yeah. Like I'm in there with 8th graders and I'm tutoring them already. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. She's like, oh, well, maybe English is your thing. I was like, no, maybe English isn't your thing.
So was that like, that's how it was for you for all 4 years of high school?
No, because I ended up having to go on the run from the police when I had a repeat of my 5th year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I got in a lot of trouble and I had to leave the state.
Oh.
I got sent to Utah. But so it wasn't like that. But in Utah, when I had to do a 5th year of high school in Utah, it was like a school where they shot Disney movies and shit.
Oh, snap.
Right. And the school, like right down the street, they did High School Musical. A lot of niggas, you know, they were like, you look like the guy from High School Musical.
You definitely fit. Yep. Okay. Yep, you definitely.
But that school was
Could've
like
been.
that. Yeah. Community college musical.
If you wasn't running, if you was walking, you could have been in it.
But yeah, so I had to get sent out of state and change my life. And come back.
Like that was during your senior year of high school? Like no.
Yeah, I was just telling my little cousin, like I probably stole over 50 cars by myself. Sold drugs, robbed people, did everything. My dad doesn't like when I talk about it, but for me, I feel like one of the biggest issues.
Statute of limitations.
You know what I'm saying?
Statute of limitations for sure.
Yeah.
But also one of the biggest issues in humanity today is the lack of patience and understanding, which leads to forgiveness.
Yeah.
And we can't grow as a human race unless people face their flaws full out, right? And it's like a lot of people, cancel culture, it's like, yeah, some of it is some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not allowing people to grow, but then also some of it is accountability.
Yeah.
When people do fucked up shit, you deserve to be accountable for what you did. I've sought redemption for what I've done for so long, and I've tried to justify it by saying the systemic, the oppression of my people led me to do these things. But no matter what I say, it's like when you do something bad, you got to just take accountability for it, responsibility. Sure. And I think we need that as a human race. We need forgiveness. We need patience, because people are so quick to attack and blame. And that's why I'm so open about everything I am. I don't want no niggas to come up to me and say
down the
that
line.
you fake. I remember when I first started getting into activism, right? Like really, you know, niggas these talking about they was activists. No, like y'all, you've been knowing me for a while. Like I was a real, you know what I mean? I'm wearing a Black Panther shirt right now, right?
Yeah.
And I remember after one of my panels, I was at a panel at some college, somebody messaged me like, you a phony. Right? Because they knew who I used to be. Like, nigga, you used to do all types of shit. Now all of a sudden you a fucking activist?
You stole my car.
You drove here in the car you stole from me.
You robbed my grandma's necklace.
You're in the panel. You gotta be driven, and I'm driven.
The key to success. You don't even have the key to my car.
You don't need a key.
So, and that hit me in a sense where I was like, I really got to transform who I am as a person. And Louis Farrakhan's one of my biggest influences. And although he has a lot of controversy behind him, I separate the controversy and I just go, it's kind of like R. Kelly and his music. I'm joking. I don't even listen to R. Kelly. But
Let's get a better example.
Bill Cosby and his colleague. Oh, fuck, it don't work. Okay.
Kanye and his man.
He did in his business, man. I don't know how to say it. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, Farrakhan hasn't done anything that bad. He's just said shit. So
It's all words.
yeah. So like, what he helped me understand, like, you want to be a moral person, you want to be a good person, you want to be a stand-up black man, you want to be somebody who people can look to and trust and rely on, and he helped me a lot. Bob Marley did too. You know, when you're searching for your identity as a black man, you can't be a street nigga.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I be a man? Like, what do I do to be a man and not be considered a bitch or a square or whatever? It's like, you could be an activist, you could be a Rasta, you could be an athlete. There's certain things that you get pigeonholed, like you were saying, work like wood shop and shit, as a black person, like, but to still hold that masculinity of strength. You know, comedians, it works too, right? Being a comedian.
No, definitely, because he was like that. Because you said don't want to be a square. Squares are good. Squares are good. There's nothing wrong with being a square. Well, because you know, if you're like, because for me it was like, I'm not a rapper and I'm an athlete, but I'm not like a dumb jock. So I always wanted to consider myself like a smart jock. I go to, like, I don't dress.
Not a brute.
I'm not a brute. Like, I go to class. I don't dress in my sports red stuff. So you will never find out until I have to leave early for class. Like, my grades are up. Like I'm one of those athletes who have good grades who can go to like the Notre Dames or something like that, or Columbia, of those type of. Like, I liked it. Marcella's.
You went to Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah, I went to UC Santa Barbara. So yeah, and I didn't even go there. Funniest thing, I didn't even go there for sports. I got in there. I had a 3.3 GPA, and I remember I was at this law panel trying to talk to like different law schools, stuff like that, figure out like my next plan was law school. And then a guy from Northwestern was there. He was like, oh, because I had just got through working out and I don't want to be late going home and shower, so I just went. And plus, most people just look like they're just came from working out. So I'm there talking to the guy. He was like, yeah, you know, so it's really dope, stuff like that, yada yada. He was like, well, we want a certain GPA, a certain LSAT score, and things like that. And he was like, yeah, so what you like? You play like on the football team here, right? And I was like, what? He was like, you play on the football team here, right? I'm like, we don't have a football team. And he's like, oh. I was like, you play sports here? Nope. I just came from working out. But his whole mindset was that I'm an athlete coming to this panel, and not that I just.
It's because you're in shape, bro. It's not 'cause-
Compliment.
Yeah. But
I wish someone would say that to me. Are you here for the football team?
yeah. Because I saw the egg on his face, because then he opened up and started saying, well, actually, we accept all GPAs. Because they said usually they only accept GPA for like 3.2 and like LSAT score of like 167. But then he told me, because he like messed up, he told me, okay, actually, we accept special cases for 2.0s and like 150 LSAT scores. So then because he messed up, he understood like, oh no, I'm actually here knowledgeable. It's like breaking stuff down on the average LSAT score and stuff like that. So then he like, oh shit, I fucked up. And like, this person actually knowledgeable and here off grades. So now I can give him the real 401 on how to get into this campus.
Well, it's good that we talking about this, because my little cousin back there, he's about to get into college pretty soon.
Oh hell yeah! Where you applying to? Oh, he's off camera. Never mind.
Hey, Anthony, where you going? You going to San Jose State, right?
Yeah, I'm going to San Jose State.
San Jose State.
Okay. All right. For what's your major? Aviation. Oh,
Aviation. Oh, dang.
Okay. Fuck it. What's it?
We're Colombian. He's gonna be transporting cocaine.
Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great way to start.
We're gonna revive the Medellin Colombian.
Hey, Griselda.
I'm about to say that. Yeah, Griselda.
I got a question for you. You're talking about like the stuff you were doing when you were young and in high school. Even though you were doing those things, how were your grades? Were you still like top notch?
No, I had basic. I never failed, but I was a C student. And the only reason I had C's is because I'm a good ass test taker.
Okay.
I got good memory.
That's what I was. That's the only thing that saved me.
Saved my ass.
Yeah.
Like, I never do homework. Like, I'll do the projects, but I never do homework, and that like severely affects your grades. Like,
For sure.
I'll just do the big projects and the tests, and that'll give me a C. And a lot of
make the teacher laugh a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was a class clown.
Butter them up.
They love me. All my teachers, like, I had, of course, a small percentage of teachers not fuck with me, but it was more racial than like me as a person. But for the most part, most of my teachers fuck with me. They actually like after the semester, they'd be like, "Thank you for making the class entertaining."
Yeah,
that's you know what, man. That's I think that I may be wrong, but just my theory is like, because I almost didn't graduate either. I almost dropped out fucking beginning of freshman year. I was just going to go work, because I was working already. I was like, fuck, I might as well.
Wait, you was working freshman year of high school?
Oh, I did like side business with my dad doing landscaping, of course.
Damn.
And I was just going to leave from freshman year, just go and working full time. When I was a senior, I damn near was working full time, like 2 different jobs.
Yeah.
So as far as the school, thought like, yeah, you miss class a lot, your attention,
Yeah.
because I would like to go and buy rock stars, leave class, and it was a problem for the school.
Yeah.
But I think it's just
It's here in Richmond?
yeah. You grow up faster, and that's why you end up a bad kid. That's like what it ends up being a lot of times. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Is that what's kind of what happened to
I
you?
think for me, it's when my parents got divorced, and it wasn't like a fucking, oh my God, I'm traumatized. I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
It was the supervision, because my mom, she's not strict, but Latinas are like involved.
Yeah.
So they're very all over your ass. Like, what are you doing? Right. That's like right now. My cousin was like, "Oh, you want to hit up your mom?" I was like, "Not right now. Like, let's handle this first, because she's gonna." So, and then my dad was a hard ass worker.
Yeah.
So he was always gone.
Yeah.
So I stayed mainly with my dad when my parents got divorced.
Oh.
So my dad's always gone.
That was a strategic move by Larry Dorsey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had the crib to the neck, and my dad is a very like community kind of person, and so all like my friends were from the projects and shit. And we didn't live in the hood; we lived in like the outer mission. So it wasn't not the hood; it was like an urban neighborhood, but it wasn't like
But you're close.
the hood,
Yeah.
you know. And we're right next to one of like the traditional black neighborhoods. It's gentrified now, but so like that area that I grew up in, it's called Lakeview and Excelsior, right? It like my friends from the projects, they'll come stay with us a lot or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my dad wouldn't trip. So we had a house at a time, like 12 niggas in the house, right? And we're young, we could do whatever we want. I was telling my little cousin, I was literally exploring the streets of San Francisco, 13 years old, like on buses, doing hella shit. In my first stolen car, I was 14 years old. Like, we was learning fast.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because we had to grow up fast. It was just because we were just city kids. You know what I mean? Like, not San Francisco's a fucking major city. Like, and I lived right next to one BART station called Balboa BART. I live 10-minute walk from Balboa BART. I live 5-minute walk from Mission Street, so that you could just hop on a bus right there. So I'm like literally in an area where it's like so much access to get anywhere you want to go. And so we were just like everywhere, parties, and I started going to college parties when I was 14, I think.
This was like early 2000s too.
Early 2000s.
It's a different world.
Yeah, hyphy movement. Like, I was part of that. And people don't understand. Like, I be trying to tell people, like, I was literally wearing collar shirts at 14, 15 years old at college parties, lying, talking about I'm 17, I'm a freshman.
I'm in High School Musical.
It's weird now. Like, I was fucking like 19 and 20-year-olds at 14.
Dang.
My man, sauce.
At a young age. And, I remember one time I was having sex with this girl. She had crazy ass, right? And she, after we were done, she looked at me. I felt so embarrassed, right? Because I didn't do good, right? And she looked at me like, "You're not 17, are you?"
It's too late for that now.
I didn't want
Let's try again.
I didn't want her to feel like a predator, so I was just like, "No, I'm 17." Right? So I left. I was like, "Yeah, she's never gonna talk to me again."
Yeah. How was she?
I think she was 19.
Okay. Okay.
And I was like 15, something like that.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Getting in when that's
I was rabbit fucking the shit out of her.
Yeah.
I was like,
Not doing nothing.
yeah.
This is before
You know
Red
who
Bull.
first taught me about sex was my cousin Diego.
Oh yeah.
Diego,
Shout out to
come over here.
Say yeah.
Okay, tell me what the move you taught me when I was a little kid about how to have sex. He said, if you trying to get some pussy, you gotta put your leg up. You remember doing that? He's all embarrassed, like, this sounds like child molestation right here now.
Breaking news.
Nah, he used to play Too Short for me when I was a kid.
Oh,
And he was like, yeah, you gotta get the bitches. But I'm joking.
Yeah, I know you ain't joking. Hell yeah.
Hey, why he's leaving? No,
His wife is like, I want a divorce.
You got a cousin try to help. I would ask my cousin all the time, hey, cuz, what should I say to approach women? My cousin, and I didn't know this later. Well, I knew this, but my
Let's say
cousin.
you learn like your cousin.
So my cousin was a pretty boy. So he's like, I don't know, cuz I ain't really got game like that. And I'm like, oh, cause he's like super attractive. He's like, I don't know. I just walk up. I don't really know what to say. I just start talking. You know, I'm like, that's it. I was like, I talk too, but I ain't never been friends though. He was like, nah, you gotta. I don't know. You just, it worked for me. I was like,
It's game specific, bro. I actually have highly considered teaching classes because in college I used to put hella niggas on game, and the reason I know, I'm not gonna come here and be arrogant. Like, I'm gonna be completely humble. The reason I have any idea of game is because how much I failed. That's where I get it from. So I'm not gonna be here like, yeah, I get hella girls and da da da.
It's like working a new joke in open mic.
Exactly. I failed. Like, I got a girl now, so I'm not really tripping. Like, usually I used to be like, I don't want to talk about this because you want to keep your game on the low.
Yeah.
Hella people listen, like, oh, this nigga's a player, whatever. So I got a girl now, so I'm cool, so I could talk about it more. But is game specific. Like, everybody, your game as a man, because it's our job to pursue women, is all gonna be based on what your package is. You could always improve your package, but there's certain things that you can never change, right? You can't change your dick size. You can't change your height. Like, there's certain things you can never change. Your how you look, your face, right? If you're not the prettiest or the handsomest, you can't change that.
and don't point at me. He's like, not the prettiest or the handsomest. Bro, are you talking about me? Hey, I get bitches, okay? I get women out here.
Not the pretty and you handsome.
You said not the prettiest and not the most handsome. That's what you said. You said not the most handsome, all right? Don't get at me light skin, all right? This is the problem right here. We supposed to be coming together. It's two black people, and we put this light skin, dark skin thing, all right? You just mad because you ain't because you ain't in right now, all right? You going back to my PTSD. My same cousin, he was light skinned too. That's why he didn't want to give me no game, okay? That's why he was like, I don't know, cuz. I don't know. I just be walking up and talking to females. All right. I know what it is now.
We do it to ourselves.
What was you saying?
No, I was just saying, you know, it's all about.
They call me pretty again.
You gotta be pretty or handsome. It's all about your package and what you bring, and that's how you could
repackage it.
Yeah, and you can repackage it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. I know he's a controversial figure, but I think he was necessary in our time.
Very much so.
People who are popular, Andrew Tate, Trump, all these people who are very controversial, I don't support them, but I study them.
Yeah.
Because you got to know, why are they popular? It's like, you can't call everybody who follows them ignorant and stupid.
Exactly.
One of the smartest professors I have in university was like, if Bernie Sanders doesn't run, I'm voting for Trump. And I'm like, what? And this dude's a fucking genius, a quantum physicist. Like, he was next level intelligent. I've met a lot of smart people. He was one of the smartest people I ever met. And he was just like, yeah, you know, I don't want to just go with the same old system. I want to shake it up. And if it's not Bernie, I don't want to go with someone who's gonna just continue the fucking machine. I want to go with someone. Trump is gonna shake everything up.
And that was the problem. Democrats didn't embrace the shaking up of things because Democrats was worried that Bernie would shake up their own thing too much, and then that's why they put up Hillary instead of Bernie, but then didn't underestimate that the country wasn't really going to vote for a woman to be president. And that's it was like you would have both two people who was going to shake it up. But even Democrats was afraid of Bernie, who wasn't even on the same level of Trump trying to shake stuff up. And that's what they fucked up.
People tired of being broke. Make it entertaining if we're gonna be broke.
Exactly. If it's just gonna be fucked up, let's have some. Trump was the most entertaining president by a long shot in history, right? I think Reagan was an actor.
He was, that's why he won.
Wasn't entertaining.
No, his boring speeches. Yeah. You can imitate Trump and people laugh.
Exactly.
A little.
I'm the one. I'm the greatest.
It was so good. I won Iowa. It wasn't close. There was a landslide victory when it came. There was only, they said it was only hundreds of thousands. Millions came out, millions, and even unborn children was voting. I don't know how they did it, but somehow we got it across. We won Iowa. It wasn't close.
Say Iowa
It
again.
wasn't close.
Say Iowa again.
Iowa. It wasn't close. It wasn't close at all.
Black people, they're cool.
Black people love me. I know you guys. There's very few out here.
A lot of people think I'm handsome.
Yeah, most of the black people, they go to Iowa and Iowa State. They're on the football team. A few on the track team. They're cool. I saw one brother. He was on the swim team. I don't know how he got there, but I got his
Now you
votes.
just sound like a pimp right now. Hell yeah. But yeah, so I think Kevin Samuels, what he did was he kind of showed how stratified as well the dating market is.
Yeah.
Because there's no one to blame.
Yeah.
I think that was his big issue. He was a little too hard on women, right? And he was hard on men as well, but it's different dynamics between men and men. Like, we grew up sports. Niggas used to yell at us all the time. Hey, run that motherfucker. We could take that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying women can't take it, but I'm saying there's a different approach with different sexes.
We can be rough with each other. It's not a problem.
You by the time you're so used to it constantly happening, it's like you know how to tune it out. Like, this is a motivating thing. Versus like internalizing. Like, oh my God, why is he
My
like?
dad doesn't hate me. He loves me.
Yeah, exactly.
He yells at you every day. He's like, no,
that's just
love.
motivation. That's you don't understand. You don't live in this house. That's motivation for me to get up and get out there. Right?
Exactly.
You have to go cry in room? Hell no. I'm about to go out and break these leaves like I was supposed to.
I wasn't cleaning fast enough. That's what it is.
Exactly. And it's the dating market is so crazy right now, and it's a good thing because women are getting more rights. And the world wasn't designed for women to have rights. Because there's multiple truths. Like, this is like, the universe is violent and dangerous. You go into the wild. I've been in multiple jungles. I've been in the wild. I've seen wild animals. And there is no women's rights in the animal. There's no LGBT rights in the animal kingdom. No, it's straight up violence, survival of the fittest.
Hey, this tribe's coming. I'm gonna record them.
Exactly.
You're canceled.
I feel depressed. The antelope lives matter. The lions keep eating us. It's like, no, the lion's gonna eat your fucking ass. That's how the game goes. And there's one lion who's a male, and he has a bunch of women lions that he's fucking, and that's how the game goes in nature. And the ecosystem, there's a balance and a beauty to it, but tsunamis and tornadoes, all that shit, that doesn't have that feeling, oh my God, I just killed innocent people. No, it just happens.
And it's the most equal thing that can happen.
Exactly. Isn't that interesting? It is equality in the end because nature is the most purest form. And so women getting rights, naturally the strong survive. Men are stronger, we're going to control. But now we're more intellectual, we're advancing as a species. We have to allow women to have more rights.
Right.
I say the word allow is because at any moment men could just be like, you know what, I'm finna be violent as fuck and I'm taking over everything again, right? And that's not the right way to go. We have to spiritually evolve and understand that everybody, if LGBTQ, whoever are oppressed, we have to be like, no matter what, what is the circumstances, we have to treat everybody as a human being and love them and wish them the best. And because of that, women are gaining all these rights. And men we're not as smart as women. Women are going to college. Women are doing a lot more things. And we're falling behind as men. We don't know. We're like, oh, I can't punch people in the face anymore. Like, what the fuck happened? I can't just go into this village and take everything? Fuck. And so
I follow this page called Boys Being Boys. And it's like dudes riding a fucking wild bull. Just doing stupid guy shit.
That's what we want to do. And we're falling behind, and women are hella fucking advanced. And they're just looking at us like we're fucking little kids. And we're just like, fuck, I don't know. So I think game specific is like men have to re-educate themselves and learn how to handle this new age empowered woman. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a process. We can't never get there if we don't have conversations, though. Because everybody's so quick to be offended, so quick to be mad. It's like,
and then when you think that everything is just fucked up now, and that you can't, you can't say anything. It's
overwhelming.
You can't say anything now in comedy. For instance, I can't do any jokes because everyone gets offended. Like, nah, you can just ride the wave and figure out how to,
That's why Shane Gillis is dope to me, because he's like bringing back child humor.
Child humor.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais did in their last couple specials. I think that they're so deep and good at comedy that they're going back to just playground. Like just being the natural form. If you look at little kids, they're laughing, they're having a good time. They're not over analyzing shit.
Yeah.
They're like just fucking
Simple
shit. You fart and they're like, right?
Yeah.
You ever go to indigenous tribes? I've hung out with motherfuckers who ain't never been to a city before, never been to a town.
Yeah.
They live in the jungle and they're so fucking playful and joyful. And I remember once I was in the
like pure.
I was in the jungle and at night I was sleeping in like hammocks with mosquito nets and shit. And I remember at night I would hear kids laughing. And it would be freaky because I grew up watching horror movies. Right? I'm not making eye contact with you. I should make eye contact with you. I grew up watching horror movies, right? And when you watch horror movies, you get all these like ideas of what's possible and craziness,
Especially at night.
But that's not real in the jungle. They haven't even seen these movies. So I remember at the end of this little journey, we went to this place called the Lost City in Colombia, and it's like, it takes like a week to get there. It was the hardest physical thing I ever did. And at the end, you get in a circle with a shaman and get to ask him questions about life. And my question wasn't even about life. I was like, yo, when I'm in them hammocks, I hear little kids at 3 in the morning giggling and laughing and shit. I'm like, yo, what's that about? And he goes, we weren't taught the same ideas of fear as you, and we know about where the predators are and stuff. So kids, they don't really have a bedtime. They just doing their thing. I was like, what?
They don't have a bedtime?
They just doing their thing. I mean, technically you go to sleep when the sun goes down, but if you don't want to, just go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
There's no danger out there. There's no child molesters and weirdos and shit like that. You just go run around as a kid.
So for them, when they hear the jaguar, then it's like, oh shit,
This part of the jungle, there was no jaguar.
There was no
There's
jaguar.
just snakes.
Okay. So that's a trip to think what we fear is way different.
Yeah.
And you fear something that's like pure joy, Even if it was a ghost, he died laughing,
Yeah, exactly.
Their fear is probably the removing of their joy, taking away their joy. That's probably that's probably their fear.
I mean, Columbus type
Deforestation.
shit. Yeah, like their fear is like people coming into their way of life that they've been living, and
Fucking chainsaws going off. Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah. That's an interesting. That's actually, we talked about this Cobbs the first time we officially met. Like, that's interesting to see. Like, I think everyone needs to experience other parts of the world to see. Like, your fears are way different than ours. It's like, damn, I'm all fucked up when I laugh at. I'm scared of laughter. And even though you know why, but laughter scares me at night. Like, and it kind of
you'd be like, whoa, this nigga crazy.
and it is. Was there other things, like examples like that you got from the jungle?
Man, I'm gonna tell for me, I'm a adventurer, man. I've been to around 30 countries.
Damn.
And I've been to, of course, hella states in the United States.
Yeah.
And the one thing I learned as humans, is very, the shamans say this in the Amazon jungle. They say, if you want to know the meaning of life, look to the animals. Because that's what we are. Whatever your religious beliefs are, respective of those, we're literally just animals. And our superpower, like bats have echolocation. There's chameleons who could change colors and blend in. There's motherfuckers who could grow back limbs, right? There's all different types of creatures on this earth. And our special power is thinking. Sometimes we could make things complicated. But, in the end, if you really are down and out in life, just look to the animals. You'll get all your answers right there, man. You look to the animals. That's what life is. There's multiple truths. This is the thing I've been trying to tell niggas lately, though, that there's multiple truths. There could be two things that are correct at the same time because everybody wants to be right. But I'm like, there's more than one right. There isn't just one truth. Yeah. There's more than one truth. There's a truth that the universe is violent. There's a truth that us as human beings need to do our best to keep it from not being violent. Right? At the same time, so the truth is, we are animals, but also the truth is we're headed into a future that's so technologically different. Compared to the niggas in the jungle, to us over here in the concrete jungle, they wouldn't know what to do. Most indigenous people in Colombia, they're poor in the streets begging for money because I mean, the ones you see. I don't want to generalize, but the ones you see in the streets, they're begging for money because they don't know how to transition into this new way of life. They're like, well, I got to go to school. I got to do this. I got to do that. If you're not into that programming, you're not going to be able to prosper, you know?
And it's getting even more difficult for them.
More difficult.
I just got my driver's license. We got driverless cars now. Like,
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Who put that? Was that you? Or was that G King? I forgot who put that. I want to give credit, but they said, I think it was G King, but I don't even know if he's the first one to say it either, but I'll just give him credit. But he said, man, I miss the days as a stand-up where all you had to do was just do stand-up. He's like, now you got to do videos, podcasts, this, that. You got to do all types of shit.
Here we are.
I think it might have been G King. I've heard that too from different people too. Like, I heard that in
I
2012.
know what you're talking about.
He might have reposted, but yeah.
The guy opening for Tony Baker. What's his name? Keon Poli.
Okay, yeah.
Keon Poli, or was it DC Irvin? Because they all like, well, because
they run together. They all run
together. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
From Antioch, though, right?
Yeah, I remember that. You're yeah.
But it's like things keep evolving, and the people who succeed to the highest of the most are the people who you have to really know history, though.
Yeah.
And then you could just slide in at that right moment where you see the precipice of that new, whatever that new invention or that new idea is, and you fucking get there right at the right timing, and your shit pop off.
Yeah.
You just gotta, you know what I want to say? I was telling people recently, I was like, it's not, for me, I don't feel like it's a question of if or when. It's a question of what. I don't think if I'm going to make it. I feel like I'm going to have a successful career and whatever happens for me. I don't think when it's going to happen, because it's going to happen. I'm never going to quit, so it's going to happen. It might take 30 years. But it's a question of what. What is it going to be for me or for y'all that's going to take us to that next level? Like, what is that?
Was that push?
Hit song, that hit skit, that hit joke, whatever it is? What is it that's gonna push me? Because that's what it's like. It's a what thing now. It's not a if or a when. It's what, and I just don't know what it is. You know,
That's a good question. Like, because when you think if, you're like limiting yourself.
Yeah.
And like if is kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Because I remember, like, I keep telling myself I need to post more on social media because I was posting like a lot, and then like talking to a few different people. Oh, you got to post at this time. You got to post. So like it got me all in like my mind and my head, and now I don't post as much, and now stuff isn't popping off as much. And like, what is that next thing that will get you there? And if you have to constantly be doing stuff and then constantly posting for it,
And trying to find it.
try to find
it out of you.
Yeah, and then
because it's in you.
Yeah, and then don't let other people distract you or detract you from what you think is working or what you can add and stuff like that.
And then when you think the thing that you made is the hottest, you post it, don't do numbers, and then something you don't give a fuck about, you post does numbers. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
I remember one clip, it got 1 million views. I remember I was at a hotel, I was bored. I was about to go to sleep. I was like, let me just record a few videos. I was like, okay, that was cool. All right, that was cool. All right, that was cool. The one that I liked, I didn't post. I hadn't posted. I was like, well, this one has a funny premise. Let me just post this. And I was like, okay, I posted it. And I just went to sleep. Woke up 2 hours later. I was like, okay, look like it's doing like okay. It has 50 likes. So that's cool. And I just like went downstairs to a show, and then it just kept going. It was like, it's at 150, 200. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, and then it got up to, I think the next day it was like, it's at 5,000 views. Cool. That's great. And then it was just like, the next 2 days, it just kept
compound.
It just like, it's 5,000. 2 hours later, 10, 15. I was like,
35,
yeah,
45,
45, 47. Yeah. That shit kept growing. It was amazing. Yeah.
You know, that's why when I work with comics, I always tell them, like, if it's especially a competition, whatever, I say, I hope you do the best.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
I really want people to succeed, and
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't do good because I'm not quitting.
Yeah.
This is just another step in the process, baby.
And it feels good to see, like, you know, like I didn't tell him not to be cheesy, but you did the Donnell thing this weekend. I was like,
Oh yeah, that
proud.
was deep.
I'm proud.
Comedy
Like,
store, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
To see like Frankie Quinones and how he's gotten up. Like,
Yeah, man.
we used to do bar shows.
Exactly,
now,
man. Yeah.
I feel proud and like, man, like I could cry, you know? Yeah.
And also it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Because you see your homies doing good. Like some people get jealous or envious or like what comparisons to thief of joy, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I see my niggas doing good, I go, it's possible.
Yeah.
It makes me happy because I go, oh, okay, they did it. Not like they did it. No, I could do it now too because I'm better than. No, is they did it. Okay, for sure. I'm
You're
on
in the right path.
Yeah.
No, that's a beautiful thing to feel, especially if you love doing it. Like, because that's the thing too, is like, if you love doing it, you're gonna stay regardless of what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
That's the thing that, like, passion like that, I feel like people don't stick to things and don't have passion like that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That was my little cousin. You know, he's going to school for aviation.
yeah.
And his dad, my other cousin, was like, yo, if you ever want to change paths, you could always change paths. But it's beautiful that a young motherfucker has like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
You know? And if they have an idea, they give up too soon before they manifest it.
Yeah, the funny thing about it, that's the same thing in college. Like a lot of people in college, I was a transfer student, so I transferred into UC Santa Barbara. I transferred at 25. It took a minute for me. Most people go to college at 17, 18.
Yeah.
I went at 25, and all my homies who already graduated was in their careers. They was like, yo, I'm so happy that you finally went and you did it, you know?
Yeah.
And then they was like, always ask me, Corday, because I got kicked out for a year, then I eventually came back, and it was like, what would you tell people? I was like, hey, don't be afraid to change your major, because people come in, I want to be bio, I want to be an engineer or stuff like that, and then people fell out, not because they're not good, it's just because it's a weeding out process and stuff, and so they think, well, I can't switch out because I told my mom I was going to do this. Like, no, there's still another way to get an education, and you might realize, I don't want to be an engineer. This stuff it's too hard. I don't have a passion for it as I initially think. I actually started taking these few other classes that I like. You can still get a degree in that one too. You just got to switch over. Like, but that's the thing we're afraid of, because if you're a first generation, but no, I told them I was going for this. I got to stick to this. Like, no, but if you have another passion or where you want to go with, like, that is your interest and you see yourself doing from then on out, you should switch to that. Yeah. Especially, or like, let's say if you're doing well in engineering, that could be your backup. You could do both, like, cause that's, you know, cause college is kind of like an exploration of what you want to do, and because
that's real.
What college did you go to? You said.
I went to Academy of Art University.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, I went to private acting schools and stuff like that. Miser Technique Studio, ACT. Then I went through, you know, Bats Improv, which is, you know, improvisational, and I also did City College where I did ethnic studies and music and like just general sciences, and then I did San Francisco State for creative writing. I did 12 years in university, or college. Like. So I spent all my 20s there, and then I graduated, and right before the pandemic. The pandemic hit was my last semester, and I did like the last 2 months. Yeah, and the last 2 months was online schooling. And I was like, yo, I made it out of this. You know, it was
12 years.
Yeah, it was a long time. And the reason why is because I've always been like the kind of person who believes in the idea of epistemology. That's like probably my favorite word. And it's the theory of knowing. Okay. Because everybody has opinions, but I I remember one of my niggas, one of my hood niggas. I'll tell you two stories. I went skydiving, right? And when I went skydiving, the day after, one of my homies messaged me, and I love this, bro. I'm not gonna say his name out of respect because it's embarrassing. He goes, so is it true? And I'm all like, what? He goes, is the earth really flat?
Yes, I saw all of it.
I'm like, what? And I had the other homie, right? He was like posting all this like political stuff. And I know this nigga he's one of the people who couldn't read out loud in class. Right? And so I'm like, you're so confident in what you believe, bro. I'm really inspired by it. You know, I came with that angle. I'm like, how did you come to believe it? He goes, it's all over, man. The information's everywhere. I'm like, cool, man. Could you provide me with a book that you've completed on that specific topic? He goes, nah, but you could look it up. It's everywhere. I'm like, have you spoke to any experts about this topic? Nah. Did you go to any classes for this topic? Nah. What documentaries could you recommend me? I don't know any. I'm like, I'm going down the list. I'm like, so pretty much what you believe in,
I have a hunch.
you don't have anything to back it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so what makes you think it's true
Yeah.
if you haven't done any of this? He doubled down and said, I just know it's true, bro.
Bro, I hate that kind of thing because my majors was sociology and black studies. Two things where it's a bunch of reading involved, a bunch of stuff about history, black history too, about like segregation, slavery, and how we got to this point today, the housing market, the redlining, and all that kind of stuff, right? And then you go on Facebook and say racism ain't real. I was like, bro, I've been studying this shit for the last like 2 years. What do you mean? It was like, nah, bro, that shit ain't real. And I'm like, okay, where'd you see it? Well, this thing says, or this thing. I was like, well, this book says that this researcher came across and said, I'm just like, bro, what is?
You know what we made a mistake as black people with Black Lives Matter is villainizing white people. I think that's our biggest mistake because, yeah, white people did us wrong, but blaming someone is never going to be a solution.
For sure.
We got to work together as a country. Like, and I'm not here trying to say white people this. No, what I'm trying to say is it's not productive. You know, there's a famous quote that says, ignorant people find blame, wise people find solutions. So all the energy we put towards trying to hate the white man and all this stuff, that is not productive. They own the world.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You're gonna hate on the person who owns the world?
So
it doesn't make sense.
So I'll push back on because I'll be in these classes after learning how fucked up slavery was and seeing a documentation on like Emmett Till and stuff like that, and I'm starting to hate the white classmates in my classroom. So I would go talk to the black professor. How do I separate? This hate that I have? That because it's happened during slavery. They was like, well, we're teaching you this so it won't be repeated. We're teaching you and the people in this classroom to realize how bad it was, to acknowledge that this happened so that it won't happen again. So sometimes it's I think the hate comes from the lack of acknowledge, no, this did happen, we're sorry for it. So like that, we could start with that.
Oh, okay, I see.
So we could start with the reparations. So we could start with the acknowledgement of this, but
That's part of like what you said of finding the solution.
And what usually what happens is like white people start to
Deflect.
They deflect, or like they start to I forget. It's like take it in and immediately think like, well, no, I didn't do this. This is not what I did. They start to internalize it. That's the word.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, we're not saying you did. We're saying this is something that happened. So instead of actually trying to come to like an understanding of what black people went through, it's like they immediately deflect. It wasn't me. I'm not responsible for this. So then they still end up playing the victim in that situation. It was like, no, we're the victim. How did you become? And then it's a less of it. So then she starts. It's like
it's a clash.
It's
man.
like so. It's especially it becomes a clash when it's supposed to bring us together. So this doesn't happen. But instead, it's becoming like a clashing of this.
But I think those kind of things take time too.
It takes time.
I mean, we were slaves for 300 years, damn near.
400.
Yeah, and it's gonna take. I mean, oppressed for 400.
Yeah,
slavery
300. Yeah, it's correct.
It's gonna take us time.
And then after there's still the Jim Crow stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
that's what it
that,
is.
and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's
it's gonna
like-
be a minute.
It's gonna take that much time to redirect it unless we go expedite it and just like go fully into it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like and that's the thing about reparations. I heard Ta-Nehisi Coates said it is if you go into reparations blaming white people, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But if you go in and blaming the government, because it's the government's policies that were put into place that affected us, then it can work because now it's not us versus them, it's us versus
the system. Yeah, and that's a great way to put it too, because it'd be like you say, well, white people did this, and it was like, well, I didn't do nothing, I didn't have no control, but it's like the government did this, and it was like, oh, I work for I hate the government too, and then you start getting people on your side.
Everybody hates the government.
Everybody hates the government, you know. Hell yeah.
There we go.
You know, so then it becomes, you know,
it's similar to women's like feminism, right? Extreme feminism.
Yeah.
They go, men ain't shit.
Yeah.
I hate men this, men that, right? I've never thought of that. Chappelle talked about that. I never thought of that as productive.
Yeah.
Because you're antagonizing the people who run shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people who have more power than you, not just in the system, but physically. Right? So you're antagonizing the fucking, you could call men the villains or whatever, but it's like, we need to work together Or it's like I could say everything I want to say about white people and what they did to me. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And you know, I've told people like you, I've had that hatred towards different races that hate it because I'm Latino. I've hated Latinos at a point in my life because, and it's not even because of just internal, like it's because of the way they treat me.
Because you're different.
I'm the only black person in my family. Like in my brother too. But in my mind, I'm never like, oh, I hate something. No, I'd never have those feelings. It's more like, damn, these people keep treating me a certain way. I didn't do shit to them. Why are they treating me this way? Fuck you. And then I literally do what they're doing to me back to them. It's horrible. It took me a while to elevate and understand that that's just not productive. You know, that's why I only say reparations. I say I don't support anything else anymore. Reparations, because everything else gets too complicated. It gets too complicated, man.
I don't support nothing. I just want reparations. I blame the government. That's how you can blame. And then you can start getting people on your side with that.
It's funny when you mentioned that, like right off the top at the beginning of the podcast here. We interviewed someone way back when we started in 2019 they were working on a program in East Oakland or mostly Oakland where they were developing not developing but bringing their psychologists and therapists, whatever, to work with people, black people specifically in the hood, because it's like being black in America is already a different experience. Growing up in the hood is a whole other thing. Then you go to like schools with people from all over the country that have never seen someone murdered, never seen a fucking the barrel of a gun down the, you know, and it's a whole different, like you can't go to just a regular Kaiser therapist that, you know, grew up in Kansas City or whatever. It's a whole different, you know, a whole different world for them.
If you talk to an old black man, you'd be hard pressed to find someone that he thinks that could talk to him about anything. That nigga would be like, that motherfucker ain't been with what I've been through, nigga. That nigga can't give me no therapy, nigga.
It's funny you said that. I used to work doing alarm systems. Right? I went to go work in this old black lady's alarm system, and she said, "This bitch came to talk to me about God. What the fuck she gonna tell me about God?"
And she's right to a certain point. She's right to a certain point.
She's in her 80s, bro.
You know what traveling has taught me the most on this topic is that as America, like, I'm indigenous, right? This is a Native American land. And I would love for it to go back to the Native people. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. So what is the next step, a solution for this country? We have to work together. And Dave Chappelle tried it. He said, we have to give Trump a chance. Remember the SNL skit he did? Or his monologue on SNL? And everybody got on his line, Dave Chappelle saying he'll give Trump a chance. It's like, you know what? This is our fucking country. And if you go to other countries and you see how they're operating, people be like, I'm done with America. Go to, nigga, I've been to, and when I go to countries, I'm not doing the traveling that other people do. I'm not, I'm at this resort, I'm getting all these private tours. No, I'm in the trenches. I'm with the people. And you want to live like that? Be my guest. Go over there.
Well, Chappelle later came back and said, probably wasn't the best thing I said, but you know what it is like, I'm gonna give you a chance for hopefully that the negative things that you've been saying. Give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully you aren't like the stuff that I've been seeing, and hopefully you do see us once you're in this place that you will make a change for the better.
I want to see everybody thrive.
And so like that's what it is. It's like, all right, I've seen you do bad shit up until this point. Hopefully now that you've won, you'll see the struggle of everyone and change. So that's what it like. You know, black people are forgiving. Like, okay, you've done all this stuff, but just see how our plight is.
Mom forgave, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Everybody forgave.
And that's the thing where, like, if you look at advanced societies over time in history, like, you know, like for example, Athens, why it was the most advanced out of all the whatever countries in Greece, is it everybody from all over came there to sit down and talk to each other. That was the difference between Athens and Sparta and all them, and that's over time in history. That's what's been like the most, you know, like they go to the next level. You got to come together. Different people, different ideas, but like, how can we compromise? You know?
And you know what the Socrates school of thought? It was all based off of questions. That was like his fundamental principle of what knowledge is. I've been to Athens. I went to where Socrates supposedly taught. I went to where Socrates was supposedly held in prison before they killed him.
Damn.
I went there, right? I got a picture in front of it and everything. And, you know, I'm a nerd on I love studying. And, you know, questions is the basis of science.
Yeah.
Hypothesis, curiosity.
Yeah.
Like if you're not in a position where you're constantly questioning,
Yep.
you're not going to lead yourself into constantly researching.
Yep.
Because when you ask a question, let me look at Google.
Yeah.
You're looking it up to see what the answer is. The more questions you ask, the more things you're looking
Yeah.
up, the smarter you're going to get.
Yeah.
When people stop questioning, which religion says don't question, right?
Yeah.
Then you're going to be whatever they tell you, going to believe. You got to, and questioning isn't something like where you're antagonistic
Yeah.
or you're trying to challenge authority. It's more of a curiosity-based
knowledge.
thing.
Yeah.
It's seeking knowledge. And Socrates knew that. It's like, let's ask questions to get to a higher level of understanding. When we have a conversation, you're arguing with a motherfucker, it's like, are you here to prove me wrong?
Yeah.
Or are you here to grow with me right now?
Yeah.
I have to stop motherfuckers. I'll be like, damn, it sounds like you trying to argue with me right now. nigga.
yeah.
I'm not against you, dog. Like, how can we grow with this, you know?
Yeah.
Larry, man, this is we just got the light a minute ago, but I just wanted to say, bro, I think we need to have you back.
Okay, thank you, man.
If you would like to come back.
I think we need a women's perspective. Hey, Megan, come over here right quick. Come over here, Megan.
Who's Megan?
Because, you know, this has been a sausage fest the whole time.
Who's Megan?
Let's bring a black woman. This is my cousin's girlfriend. Let's
Okay,
bring a
well,
black
I'm
woman.
trying to help you introduce who this person
Oh,
is.
yeah, this is my cousin's girlfriend.
Yeah.
What's up, Megan?
Hello,
Well,
Megan.
my cousin's her boyfriend. Why do I gotta put the woman at the? No, I'm fucking with you. So you just heard the whole conversation. What you probably thought some things that you were like, I don't agree or I do agree. What do you want to say?
Good point.
I was playing Hello Kitty. So,
Yes.
but I don't know. There are some animals in the animal kingdom where women are on top, like mantises.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was one thing I disagreed with. Okay. But
The penguin too.
Penguin.
The-
Hyenas, that's one too. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
okay. Okay.
Anything else you want to say? And you want to promote anything about women empowerment?
Oh, actually, let's take my seat.
Yeah. Sit down. Like, come here. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's because I think that's important because you know that's why I believe there should be a woman president because
absolutely.
just for the fact that we need that perspective.
Yeah.
They bring a whole nother perspective.
Yeah.
For sure.
That men can't understand.
Right.
Right.
And that's what we used to have women co-hosts here on, like, there's been a few, but like,
Yeah.
because we did not want to just have like a men think tank or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, just,
Yeah.
bouncing back ideas.
But you agree with most of what we said.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Most of it.
No, sir.
So what do you think is the problem right now in today's society?
It's a long list.
Deep question, bro.
Do you think Donald Trump will be a good president?
I don't think anybody would be a good president.
Oh.
It's not the people who are like running.
Oh.
Or, like the people who are our options. Our options aren't very good.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So,
What do you think the problem is with the sexes right now?
I don't think that enough voices are being like heard or taken into account. Especially women's voices, women of color. Yeah, just everybody's being talked over. Yeah.
What you mean by that? Like mansplaining?
I feel like when a woman has an idea, someone else has to come and take it or take credit for it. Like, yeah, mansplaining also. They think that they came up with the idea. Like I could say, let's say I came up with a product.
Yeah.
Someone else helps me like promote it. All of
Yeah.
a sudden it's their product.
Yeah.
It's not mine anymore.
That happened with black people in slavery too.
All the time.
A lot of different ones. Yeah. You said ideas like what are like some examples off the top of your head? Do you know? That's because that's a good point. Like
No.
It happens a lot.
it happens
though,
a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. But like, do you feel like there's good women role models right now that you could think of, like, and not necessarily in like entertainment, just in general. So I feel like that sometimes doesn't get looked at as much as dudes, you know?
Yeah.
Mothers.
Mothers. Yeah.
Mothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well, for
strongest,
sure.
most important thing. Yeah.
The dynamic between mothers and fathers is very flawed. I feel like mothers don't get praised as much. Like a mother can do something and a father can do the same thing, and it's like, wow, you're such a great father, but the mother, nothing.
It's like the
It's
expectation.
expected.
Expected, yeah.
Or like if you're a terrible mother for getting Domino's or something, but
Right.
if a dad goes and gets Domino's, it's like,
It's just dad.
Yeah.
he's like so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's like
and
why?
stuff like that.
Why didn't you cook? Why didn't you
Yeah.
cook stuff like that? Dad didn't have time to cook
Yeah.
because he's coming back from work. Even if the mom is working as well, it's still expected that at the end of the day,
yeah.
she's supposed to cook the daily activities and chores.
So you have a black father.
Yeah.
How was your dad was in your life too?
Yeah.
My dad was in my life. Black fathers are apparently not in black people's lives.
Yeah, that's
All
the
three
one.
of us have black dads.
Yeah.
How was it having a black dad?
It's nice, yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's super strict, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
I think having a father figure is so important.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Nice. So you have nothing you want to say right now? I don't want to sit here and us like
can't-
drilling you with
I
questions.
can't come up with anything. I was put on the spot. I didn't come up
Were
with
you expecting to come up here?
no. I'm so nervous.
Hey, but you did it though. Thank you for coming up here and
And what
sharing.
you said was beautiful, and I think
Yeah.
it's so important that we have that diversity of
No,
thought.
for sure.
It's important.
And like I said, we used to have women co-hosts, but then
Yeah.
just eventually like
Yeah.
And I'm not putting y'all on the
No,
spot.
no,
at all. I'm
no,
like,
no.
where the fucking women at? No, not at all. Like, if it's a fucking me and the bros, nigga, we living it up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the fact that she's here.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was like, shit, bring her on.
No, yeah. And we invite that. You know, we try to have this a little bit more. Our little what is it called? Our little slogan is we talk to everyone about everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We try to live to that. You know, live up
It's
to that.
important.
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah. So, but yeah, again, thank you for coming out. Anything you both you want to plug before we go?
I'll just say follow me on social media. The name is the same as the handle. It's Larry Dorsey Jr. and the Jr. spelled JR. Across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everything is all the same. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna continue trying to be diligent, trying to improve. Please, everybody I did wrong in my life, I haven't done anybody wrong, but forgive me. There might be a couple.
Just 50
Sorry.
cars.
Every show I say that, I'll be like, I apologize, man. I live life truthfully. Like Tupac says, I just try to speak the truth as much as I can. And sometimes I'm wrong, and sometimes I say inappropriate things, and that's just
I don't know when I heard you
make a lot of mistakes.
when I heard you say that right now about if I did you wrong. Yes, they deserve the title. I hope they
Do you want to say anything before we end?
No, I don't want anybody to know.
And that
I
has
don't want
been
any of my family seeing this.
and that has been the voice party,
And
and
we're
our outs.